Okay, let's unpack this. Picture this. You're eagerly turning on the tap, maybe ready for that first rush of warm water for shower. You might even, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then it hits you. That really unmistakable, potent sulfuric odor. It's that classic rotten egg smell, right?
Ugh.
A real jarring moment that just instantly ruins the mood. Can make you dread turning on the hot
It
water.
really can.
Yeah.
It's more than just like an unpleasant smell, isn't it? What's kind of fascinating here is how something so seemingly small can genuinely disrupt your day-to-day comfort. Makes a basic part of your home feel, well, a bit off.
Absolutely. And the good news for everyone listening is you really don't have to put up with stinky water anymore. Today, our deep dive is laser focused on understanding and, maybe more importantly, eliminating this specific rotten egg smell that so often comes right from your water heater. Our mission: to kind of shortcut your path to being really well informed on why this happens and explore 5 pretty effective ways straight from our source material to make your water smell fresh again.
Yeah, we've been looking at some practical, actionable insights from excerpts from Solving Rotten Egg Odor in Water Heaters. Basically, a guide called 5 Useful Ways to Get Rid of Rotten Egg Smell in Your Water Heater. Enjoy clean water. It's actually a really clear guide. It covers the problem and the solutions quite well.
Okay, so before we jump straight into the fixes, let's maybe play detective for a minute. Let's uncover the surprising culprits behind this really unpleasant odor. Our source shows it's a kind of interesting mix of chemistry and biology happening right inside your hot water tank. You're waiting for that nice warm shower, and bam, awful smell.
That's right. The main bad guy here isn't just tiny bacteria in general. Our source really points to sulfate-reducing bacteria. These little microscopic things thrive in the warm, low-oxygen environment inside your water heater. It's anaerobic, which is just perfect for them. They essentially feast on naturally occurring sulfates in your water supply. And as a byproduct, they release hydrogen sulfide gas. That's the exact same gas that gives rotten eggs that unforgettable smell. It's a pretty common chemical reaction happening right there in your plumbing.
Okay, that definitely paints a clearer picture. So once we know what's causing it, how do we actually tackle it? Our source lays out 5 solid ways to fight back. Let's start with the first one, maybe the most straightforward, just flushing your water tank.
Yeah, this is an excellent first step. Flushing basically means you drain out all the water and, crucially, any sediment that's built up inside. This process is kind of like a purge. It gets rid of the sediment, sure, but it also dislodges those sulfate-reducing bacteria that like to settle and multiply down in the cooler bottom part of the heater. It's a really key step in disrupting the conditions that let that hydrogen sulfide get produced.
hmm And beyond just tackling the smell, our source mentions that flushing regularly actually helps your water heater run more efficiently, improves water cleanliness overall, maybe even extends the life of the heater itself. So it's kind of a foundational maintenance step.
Okay, so once we've given the tank a good flush, the next strategy is a bit more.
Chemical, right?
Right, the second method is chlorine treatment. This involves adding chlorine bleach carefully, following instructions to your water heater. Chlorine is a really strong oxidizer. It directly reacts with and neutralizes that hydrogen sulfide gas, basically turning it into odorless stuff. Plus, it acts as a biocide, so it kills off the sulfate-reducing bacteria that are making the gas in the first place. Big caveat here, though. It's absolutely crucial to wait at least 24 hours after doing this before using the hot water again. Gives the chlorine time to dissipate safely.
Right, so it's effective, definitely maybe for immediate relief, but our source calls it a temporary fix. And that makes sense. It knocks out the current problem, but doesn't necessarily change the long-term conditions that let the bacteria come back.
That's an important distinction, I think. Okay, now for the third solution. This one shifts to fixing something inside the heater, upgrading the anode rod. Now, for a lot of people listening, this might be a totally new term. What exactly is an anode rod, and how does it connect to this rotten egg smell? Yeah, this is where it gets pretty interesting and maybe a little counterintuitive. So, the very thing designed to protect your water heater can sometimes be part of the problem. Your water heater has this rod inside, usually made of magnesium. Its whole job is to corrode sacrificially. It gets eaten away instead of the steel tank lining. Protects the tank from rust, makes it last longer. But here's the twist. Magnesium, while great for protecting the tank, can sometimes react with those sulfate-reducing bacteria and the sulfates already in your water. And that reaction can actually increase hydrogen sulfide production.
Wow, okay.
So our source strongly suggests switching to an anode rod made of aluminum or maybe a zinc aluminum alloy. These materials still provide that essential tank protection, but they don't really fuel the bacteria's stinky little side project nearly as much. or at all.
That's a fantastic insight. Connecting a protective part to the actual problem seems unrelated at first glance, so this approach could give you odor relief and still keep the water heater protected long term. Okay, what about method number 4?
Method 4 gets a bit broader. It involves installing a water softening system. This tackles the water quality itself, kind of before it even gets to the heater in a big way. A water softener works by removing hard minerals, think magnesium and calcium, from your water supply. By taking out those minerals, especially the sulfates which the bacteria feed on, you're essentially reducing the food source for those odor-causing bacteria. Starving them out, basically. Helps prevent the hydrogen sulfide gas from forming in the first place. Plus, you get other benefits, right? Softer water often feels nicer, tastes better, and it reduces scale buildup in your pipes and appliances, which helps them last longer.
Right, so it's a more sort of comprehensive solution, goes beyond just the smell, actually improving your home's overall water quality. Makes sense. And finally, what if? What if someone tries these things, maybe even the anode rod swap, and the smell just keeps coming back? What's the ultimate solution the source points to?
Well, sometimes, if the odor is really persistent, it might indicate that the heater itself is just old, maybe severely compromised inside. Or perhaps the local water chemistry is just exceptionally favorable for bacteria growth, despite your best efforts with these other fixes. In those cases, yeah, you might need to consider replacing the water heater entirely. Obviously, it's a bigger investment up front. But a new unit will definitely solve the smell problem. And, a new heater will inherently work better, be more energy efficient, and should last much longer than an old one that's struggling.
Okay, so those are the 5 core ways to tackle the smell once it's already there. But prevention is always better than cure, right? Our source also talks about crucial prevention. Once you've, say, flushed the tank or used chlorine, how do you keep that nasty smell from returning?
Prevention is absolutely key, you're right. To keep your water from smelling bad again, the most important thing is regular maintenance. That means regularly cleaning out your water heater by flushing it, just like we talked about earlier. Every year, maybe more often, depending on your water. This disrupts any new bacterial colonies trying to set up shop. Also, another good tip, if you're going to be away from home for an extended period, like a long vacation, it's a really good idea to turn off the gas or the power supply to the heater, or maybe even drain the tank completely if you'll be gone for a very long time. This stops bacteria from multiplying like crazy in that stagnant, warm water while you're gone, which can lead to a nasty surprise when you get back.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Bringing this all together then, getting rid of that foul smell in your water, it really comes down to reclaiming your daily comfort, doesn't it? And just making sure your water is, well, good for you. These 5 strategies we've talked through today, from flushing to maybe even replacement, they can genuinely help you get there.
Absolutely. When you apply these solutions, whichever ones fit your situation, you really can start enjoying nice clean water again. They give you the power, the knowledge to fix the immediate problem and hopefully keep it fixed. Make your water smell fresh and clean again. Ultimately, yeah, it's about giving you the tools to stop dealing with that really pervasive, unpleasant odor and just start enjoying your water again. Simple as that.
And it's actually quite intriguing how understanding such a specific, maybe mundane problem like the rotten egg smell from your water heater, how it suddenly opens up this whole world of practical knowledge. You start understanding the systems working away right beneath your sink, often totally unnoticed, which kind of raises an interesting question for you, the listener, to think about what other small, maybe common annoyances in your daily life might have an equally clear science-backed solution just waiting to be discovered if you just dig a little deeper.